to episode 18 of the Full-Time Banter Show. My name is Liam.
And I'm Tariq.
And Tariq, what have we got coming up this week, mate?
Well, no Riz again.
Yeah, that's true, no Riz.
Must acknowledge that, yeah. So working hard again.
Is that regular? It didn't even cross my mind. Riz, I miss you, mate. I do miss you.
Part of the family, come on. We'll wait for him back anyway. But what have we got coming up? Well, this first part is a Fantasy League section. We've got part 2 football section coming up as well. I'll tell you what's going on in here first. We're going to have a game week 11 review, having a look. It was not so good again. We'll look at our tips from last week, Barclay, Brooks and Martial. Richarlison, we said we were going to get out on Mitrovic. And then a few questions that are cropping up, something I've had on my mind, and Miguel's been in touch again.
God bless Miguel. Without this show, we'd be lost without you, mate.
He does, he loves this show. We love you, Miguel. But yeah, Salah out for Sterling potentially, which is exactly what I was thinking, and that's what Miguel got in touch with as well. Or, on the other hand, the vibe is as well, what I'm reading today on Twitter, a lot of people are thinking about tripling up on Liverpool for the Fulham game coming up.
Yep.
Some even talking about a triple captain. So we'll discuss that.
Wow.
We'll look at the Liverpool fixtures, or whether it's wise to triple up on Manchester City, which I think it might be. Yeah, but before we do any of that, it's our customary Fantasy League table.
But what if people want to get in touch with us, T?
Oh, of course.
See, this is why we miss you, Riz. This is why we miss you.
Oh, we need him, yeah. It's the only thing he's good for. No, get in touch via our YouTube channel, which is Full-Time Banter. Make sure you like, share and subscribe, and click the little bell so you get the automatic notifications. And you can follow us on Twitter at FullTimeBanter7. Where we put out lots of useful information, and there's lots of good fun banter and chat, and there particularly has been this week with Liverpool not doing so well yesterday. Champions League, first time I got to watch the Champions League match, because it was on Tuesday night and not a Wednesday like today, and it was bloody awful.
Played out bad for you. Sorry to hear that, mate.
Yeah, but anyway, the Full-Time Banter top 10. Take it away, Liam.
Okay, Bob Pickers. So at number 10 with a new entry, it's the Garthatron, Gary Watson. I've missed you, mate. 699 points. 2 points ahead of him in 9th is Joe Gallagher and the Triple X Boys. Down to 8th this week, Tariq Nazir and the False 9 with 706. We've got to get you back up there, mate. You're the only one flying the flag.
I'm trying.
Bill City FC in 7th, Billy Mottram, 709 points. 1 point ahead with 710 is Tosmai Salah and Omar Haluda. Brilliant. Bella Briggs, what a cracking week for him, 95 points. Anand Shah getting 713. I know, bang on new entry. You talking to me, Gulshan Jain, 714 points. In the bronze medal position so far, Shomi Damane, Chris Hay, and 720. 11 points ahead, Avius and Giroud Sandstorm, 731. Closing the gap a little bit on Santos Kanake, Gunning San, who's still at number 1 with 764 points.
He is, thank you very much, Liam.
You're
yes,
welcome.
our top 10. Top 10? Top 20. Top 20, top 10. Top 10. But yeah, Bala Briggs, I mean, we may as well start with him. We usually start with the lowest point scorer. Bala Briggs, like a bat out of hell, straight into that number 5 slot into the top 10. With 95 points, he was actually our top scorer this week. Yeah, fantastic. I mean, captained Sterling.
Sterling did the business there.
He did, yeah. No Salah. In fact, no Liverpool assets at all.
No, good lad. Maybe it could be a personal choice, Everton fan or United fan, maybe.
Could be, yeah. Or he's, I don't know. Well, he's obviously doing well, because I've not checked how long he's been without any Liverpool assets. Is that the way to go? Something to discuss, yeah. And he got the Alonso assist. Top 6, obviously, nobody kept a clean sheet in the top 6.
No, they did not.
Which was not good.
No, they did not.
Helpful at all. And then he had Richarlison, Aguero, and Wilson doing the business, yeah. So pretty good going. He is, obviously, as we've said, Anand Shah, he's 5th on 713 points. So going good. He's challenging. Yeah. Let's see what happens next week.
Going like the clappers, well done, mate. And in the lowest scoring position this week is Sarri, not Sarri, Olivier Alongwe, Oliver Altong, maybe, I don't know, who only got 27 points this week. And
not good.
Looking, I think this is not been touched for a while, looking at that.
I didn't actually check, to be honest. Yeah, it does.
Because the defence, I don't know what's happening with the defence. And I don't tend to call teams on here because, hey, we all have our choices and methods. But, yeah, a couple of... the defence is definitely letting down. And then the bench as well, nothing coming from there, really. So
pretty poor across the board, yeah. I did check he's a Chelsea fan. And I noticed he had the two Liverpool players in. But Lursel in goal? What's going on there? Yeah, and Patricio on the bench, so who knows?
To be fair, Salah and Hazard both pretty much shitting out for the week, so
yeah.
That might have affected it, but yeah, elsewhere there is a room for improvement, I would think.
Olivier a long way from the top.
Oh, yeah. He's had that.
But you rehearsed that all day. 81st in the league, only on 539 points, but keep going, Olivier. Let's go on. Give us Riz's team this week.
Yeah, so Riz has got 54 points this week. So he's moved down 2 places to 33 in the league. And I think a bit indicative of everyone's week, really.
He went heavy at the back.
Yeah, 5-3-2, which is playing those wing backs. The midfield did okay. Richarlison, Riz is on him, so he's doing well there. The captaincy of Hazard, not really paying off. Arnautovic is the big one. I would have thought. I binned him a few weeks back, but Riz, have you got him as well, I think, too?
I have.
You pair of sods. Arnautovic, doing the stuff.
But crucially, Jimenez on the bench.
Just noticed that, yeah. Jeez.
Second on the bench. Oh dear me. I mean, he wasn't paying attention to his team again. He set this team last Tuesday. That's when he actually made his transfer and set the team. And his captaincy was by default, hence Mitrovic's vice. God knows why. Yeah, so, but yeah, not great. Like I say, the defence let him down massively, like it did for all of us. 54 points, just above average.
Yeah.
So that leaves him on 639 points, down 73,000 to 449k overall. So not good. We're all suffering those red arrows, aren't we?
We are. But hey, it's not as bad as me. Once again, my team can just go in the fucking North Korean mines. But I think I messaged you on the Saturday and said there's no clean sheets for the top 6.
Yeah.
I'm shagged.
At that point, you were on something like 12 or 13 points.
Yeah. I wouldn't even, if they were all like, 3-2 or 4-3, I could accept it. But the fact that City was 1 goal,
I know.
Liverpool conceded 1 goal. I know Arsenal as well, but I don't have them in my team. But yeah, my defence, I'm basically reliant on Mendy and Robertson because the rest of them, they're just having a bit of run of bad fixtures at the minute and just shut out. So Alisson, Robertson, Mendy, not even clean sheet bonuses for Salah or Hazard or Barkley.
And that midfield.
Yeah. So Aguero was the only success. Success was not a success. And Mitrovic bombed out completely. So if it wasn't for Aguero, I would have been up shit creek. I mean, I still got 48 points, so it's just 4 off the average. But again, fully reliant on Sergio. So in our league, down 6th to 60th on 584 points. Overall down 200k to 1.5 mil, which is not good. Ever since Miguel made that bet, he has fucked my head over. Thank you, Miguel.
Jinxed him, Miguel. Anyway, not so good. Mine, again, just above average, 59 points, which meant I was down 3 places in our top 10 to 8th.
Oh, 3 places, God bless you.
Down 3 places to 8th. 706 points total. So I've made a few points on Santos Kanake because he went and captained Salah.
Ooh.
So I was, rather confused that Saturday afternoon, hoping that Liverpool would get a win, but Salah
doesn't do it. It's a horrible thing. That's why I hate it.
So it worked out in that sense. I made a few points up on him, but it meant ultimately 13k red arrows down to 50k overall. So I'm literally hanging on. And I was looking at my game week history. And it works out at the moment 3 weeks of green arrows and then 2 red.
Right.
And then 3 weeks of green arrows and then 2 red. So I'm due, statistically, green arrows next week. I'm hoping. But again, defence, as you can see, goalkeeper made no difference who I put in. Alonso, lucky with the assist. Midfield, Paul and Aguero and Arnautovic saving the day. So pretty shocking. So I mean, moving on to the players who did perform, it was essentially the difference was Sterling, Wilson, Martial and Arnautovic for most people.
Yeah, and Arnautovic is one that a few weeks back, I know we all had him at one point, and then and Zaha, and then over time he just seemed to slack off. I don't know, he didn't seem to.
Yeah, well, he's had this knee injury, hasn't he? He was playing through a knee injury, and they kind of nursed him through it. But he's looking lively. He's looking really good.
Quite sharp, yeah.
Yes,
I think is he only 0.1 ahead of Mitrovic still in the pricing? I think.
I
don't think he's moved that far away. So if you've got a bit of funds, that might be a good.
Definitely, he's one to get in because his stats are backing it up as well. He was previously getting lots of touches in the box, but not doing a lot with it. But now he's looking deadly. He's getting shots off on target and everything as well, shots in the box. So Mitrovic, definitely, if you haven't got him in your team, forget. I mean, by this point, hopefully, anyone's got Mitrovic has got rid of him.
Yes,
I think we'll start with that point.
Yeah, Mitrovic. I think we were giving him this game week, weren't we? Because it was against Fulham.
Huddersfield, yeah.
Huddersfield, yeah. And he didn't do anything.
Well,
Fulham
didn't do anything.
No,
yeah, absolutely awful.
I'll be honest, I dozed off.
Yeah.
I set the recliner back and just went. I just had it on in the background and just let the dulcet tones of Martin Tyler take me away, or whoever was commentating. But yeah, well done to Huddersfield, by the way.
Yeah, to be fair to Huddersfield, like we said last week, they were creating chances and they were all over them, weren't they?
They were.
Didn't, so yeah.
So Jack will be happy with that.
Jack will be happy, man. Yeah.
The tiny terriers.
Yeah.
And but yeah, back to Mitrovic. It's time for him to go, isn't it?
Definitely. People have been shipping him out, and he's been dropping like a stone. His value.
Yes, this is the other side of it as well. That you don't want to get, because there's another 2 million players this year. You don't want to get caught up in the swell and whatever the opposites of the swell, the shrink. I don't know of the pricing. But there's sometimes where you go, if they're not performing and you can't see them performing, you've got to get out and try and get back as much money as you can.
I mean, maybe by the time he was currently yesterday, I've actually made my transfer. I had 2 free transfers, same as last week. I only used one last week to bring Barclay in for Stanislas. Yesterday I got rid of Mitrovic. He was down to 6.7.
Oh shit, right, he's going out tonight then.
Yes, he's due to drop again tonight.
Oh, bloody hell.
So I managed to get in Wilson at 6.6, who's just still holding. I'm surprised he hasn't risen more. So Mitrovic out for Wilson, and he's due to drop again. So by the time you're watching this, hopefully tomorrow or Friday, he could be down to 6.5.
Yeah, well, luckily with the transfers I made last week, I've only got 1, but I've got 0.7 in the bank.
Right.
I think so. I've got enough to get an Arnautovic in for Mitrovic.
Right. Excellent.
So I think that will be happening tonight when I go back.
Okay.
Thank you for the knowledge of his dropping. Shit.
Yes. So moving on to the next point, which was Richarlison, because we debated whether it's time to get rid of him, whether he was adapting to that number 9 role, and he came through pretty much, didn't he?
Yeah, he seems to be enjoying it now. It's taken a few weeks for him to settle in, and I didn't even realise he was playing up front, to be honest, until I think Everton were on Sky, and I went, "Oh right, I didn't realise that."
Same last week.
But yeah, he came through. Is it 1 goal or 2? Did he get?
I can't remember off the top of my head, to be honest. I think it must have been the 1. Has anybody got Richarlison in their team? No.
Oh yes, 15.
Yeah, so that must be more. Yeah, it must be either 2 goals or an assist or something as well. But yeah, Richarlison. So maybe hang on to Richarlison, and maybe he's going to get better now as well.
Yeah, if he's the longer he's playing up there, you would expect him to adapt and be more comfortable with it.
Yeah, I'm just going to check out his price now because I've not looked at Richarlison for a while. Obviously, I've not had him in my team at all. So let's see what he's at. Richarlison 6.9. So Richarlison's at 6.9 million,
which is damn good.
Pretty good for a midfielder, yeah. So the ones we tipped last week were Barclay, Brooks, Martial.
Yeah. And
he's in that bracket because we were saying if you had him, whether you were considering getting rid. But I think you can keep hold of him at that price.
I think it was if you had him, definitely keep him. Now he's done the business again, I think he might be due for a big amount of people bringing in.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, that leads us on to of the 3 tips we gave last week, Barclay, Brooks and Martial. Martial obviously.
Yeah, Martial is. I think I'll be going for Martial over. Who would it? Or Richarlison.
Right.
Yeah, I think I'll be going for Martial over Richarlison.
Really?
Yeah. Only because he just seems to be so in form.
Yeah.
At the minute, I think it's 5 goals in 4 games.
Something like that.
So, I mean, I've only got 1 free transfer because I did 2 the previous week.
Right.
So it might have to wait till after the international
break, which is
risky because of the 2 weeks of potential increase, decrease, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Martial will be my one to get in. Seems to be really motivated at the minute. Don't know whether that tough love earlier in the season is paying off. To look at him, you wouldn't think so because he seems like the player that would need an arm around him.
But he's like more expensive at 7.5 now.
He's 7.5 now?
Yes.
He was 7.3 last time I checked.
Yeah.
Damn it.
So, I mean, this is the thing. When last week when we mentioned this, when I was talking about these tips and I put it out on Twitter and everything like that, and a few people were saying to me still, oh, it's a little bit early, we're going to wait, we're going to sit and see how he does. But by that point, it had already been 3 games, including the Champions League game. So this is his 4th return in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
4 games, not in 4 weeks, but in 4 games. 4 returns, and it's fantastic. So another one definitely to consider. So you're going Martial over Richarlison?
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, if I do though, he'll always go off the boil because United players never do well in my dream teams when I get them in. I always bring them in because it's my team, and they always shit out. I think I expect too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, Martial will probably be coming into mind depending on the price rise and what I've got.
Right, because I'm at a dilemma now. Just before we move on, obviously we'll acknowledge that the 2 tips people will say that they haven't worked out. With Barkley, I got him in myself for Stanislas. And it just so happened that week was the week Hazard wasn't playing. He was benched. So what it meant was Barkley ended up playing a deeper role, a bit more central, rather than the one is previously where he's been as a number 10 essentially, just behind the striker. So I think I'm going to keep hold of him. I think he will come good.
Yeah.
Once Hazard's playing, I think Barkley will have that role to himself as well.
He's a good price as well.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make. I don't think you're going to get anybody cheaper that's better at the minute than Barkley. No. So you're best off just hanging on in there.
Yeah. Likewise, Brooks. Brooks was unlucky. I watched that game against United.
Yeah, crazy game. Good ending.
He was good. He was in the thick of it. He was really good, and he was creating some big chances as well. He was sort of assisting the assister occasionally. And yeah. So I think returns to come off him. He was a similar price as well. He was very cheap. I can't remember the exact price, but around 6 point something. So definitely keep hold if you have him. But, like I say, maybe the people are thinking about now we've talked him into either Richarlison or Martial.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I'm at a dilemma. I cannot get either of those in. And I'd be happy to get either now, Richarlison or Martial, now that we've seen firmly that they are solid assets.
Yeah.
So this conveniently brings us to our next point then, because like I mentioned last week, we threw it out there, we mulled it over, didn't we, that if Mane can match Salah, do we then need Salah? Can we downgrade to Mane, save a couple of million there? And Aguero was the other one I was questioning.
Yes.
So my questioning has been quite proven wrong this entire game week. So Aguero came out and played the full 90 minutes this week.
Yes, and I think he's rested tonight in the Champions League as well. Or
most likely, I have not checked actually. I'm not up to date on...
That would indicate he's going to be starting at the weekend at least.
Well, against United, definitely. Yeah, I think he will be. So, we'll come back to that. We're going to come back to part 2 on the Manchester derby. We won't start just there. But getting back to the Salah point then.
Yeah, Salah. It's
Are we getting rid? Bearing in mind 2 things. The next game is Fulham. We have Fulham at home.
Yes, you do.
And following that, this game week 12, it's the international break. And then after that, I'm going to give you more food for thought. When we come back from the international break, we've got Watford away, Everton at home, Merseyside derby, Burnley away, and Bournemouth away. So,
see, this is the problem with the fixtures, because I was umming and ahhing about Maddison and saying, oh, but look at Leicester's fixtures. They've got like great fixtures for the next 7 weeks. He could just give me 14 points. You don't. In theory, the theory is solid, based on especially Fulham. I wouldn't get rid of him before Fulham at home, especially.
Yeah,
I would
definitely.
And international break coming up. Wait and see. Keep. After that, it's all well and good saying he could bring in these returns, but Mane could equally do the same, and do the business, if not better.
Mane hasn't statistically been matching him, so I'm still dubious. But going back to our top scorer, Anand Shah, with his team, Bala Briggs, is without Liverpool. And look, he's just broke in. So presumably he's been doing well. He's smashed it to be able to get up there into the top 10 and without under the radar. I've not even seen his name anywhere.
No, I
go through the league quite often and see who's doing well. And he's snuck in there without any Liverpool assets, so it's possible.
It is, and I quite like that he's no Liverpool. You know,
it's certainly doable, isn't it? So,
I mean, the thing with Salah is that he's still the third top point scorer for midfielders.
Yeah.
And Hazard and Sterling are I think 2 million cheaper and 10 points ahead. But Salah's still there. He's not hitting the heights of last season, but he's still bringing in good returns and solid and consistent. So,
and that's despite Liverpool's form, which again we'll talk in part 2 in the football section. It's not entirely his fault, is it? It is. So that's why I'm tempted. I'm seriously considering this because Liverpool are out of form. They've changed their style of play this season, and it's just not working out for him.
You're still third in the league, aren't you? Something or second? Or...
We are.
That's really out of form. Bloody hell.
No, it is, because we'll talk. Make sure you watch part 2. We're going to talk about this because we've really looked into what's been going wrong at Liverpool, what's changed. And Salah for me, I mean, okay then, let me put these 2 points to you then that we mentioned. Liverpool triple up for the Fulham game. Yes or no? Or absolutely ridiculous?
So is that any 3 Liverpool players?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm already tripled up then.
Are you? Really?
Alisson, Robertson and Salah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm already tripled up. So
right.
I just realised and I went, hang on, this is a new point for me. I'm going to be sticking with them. But quite fortunate, I would be expecting clean sheets for Liverpool.
You think so?
After last week.
I'm going to say this is probably the game where Mitrovic scores.
This is the thing, you can't. It's luck. It's just pure luck and fate. The ball bobbles or it doesn't bobble and it goes and whatever. But anyway, based on cold-hearted facts, double up if you can.
Right.
But don't knacker your team for the sake of it because it's it's only one game week. But if you're able to do it, I would be.
Because here's the point. I mean, looking back at the lesson learned from the Kane situation, where people were trying to bring him in for one game. But it's just Cardiff game. Because a lot of people missed the Huddersfield game if they didn't already have him. Brought him in for the Cardiff game and it completely flopped, and it's expensive. Some people took a hit to get him in for that game, and it backfired.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and likewise, you're going to have to do similar. If you've got defenders, or if you've got attackers, or if you've got Salah or whoever, I mean, the most popular talk on Twitter has been bringing Mane in.
Yeah.
So even then, he's a premium asset at 9 point whatever for your midfield.
8, I think,
So you're either going to have to lose one of your other big guns, either a premium defender or Aguero or whoever, or you're going to have to take a hit somewhere as well, more than likely. Not one or the other. It's either lose a big gun, a big player, or lose a big player and take a hit.
Yeah, and I think it does boil down to what you were saying about if people are willing to just risk it for that one game week and then
shift him out.
Yeah,
but who would you shift him out? Because the only obvious thing I can see, or maybe biased by my own team, it would have to be Hazard, and there's no way I would take
That's
Hazard.
what I was thinking. That the majority of teams now I would expect have got Salah and Hazard. And if you are thinking of doing the tripling, Hazard would be the one to give.
The make way, yeah.
Yeah, but obviously there's price differentials between selling and buying.
Yeah.
Is it worth knackering yourself to then get Hazard in?
No.
Try and return.
Personally, no. Not for the triple up. I don't think it's worth it for the points return. I think obviously we're going to win. I don't see it being a mauling like it has been previously.
Yeah.
When Liverpool have been on form. I mean, the other thing that's skewed people's viewpoint again, talking about their form, is the early games against West Ham, when West Ham were absolutely awful. And you know, the couple of early games. So if you're asking me, my advice is, are you agreeing as well? Don't take a hit or lose a premium asset to get a third Liverpool player in.
Yeah, But if you like myself, that's already got 3 Liverpool players,
Fair enough then.
firing him.
You're in a bit of a privileged position then, aren't
Yeah.
you?
Did you say something about people are thinking of triple captaining? as
Yes, yeah, triple captain in game week 12 on Salah
well?
against.
I mean,
Tempted?
no.
No.
To be honest, I'd rather triple captain Alisson or Robertson
Really?
because I would be hoping for the clean sheet.
Clean sheet, yes.
So I know it's 8 points or something overall, 24 points. Yeah, you get more if people score, but I would be more tempted to go down that route if I was going to do it. But I always prefer to triple captain in a double game week.
Yeah.
Because 2 bites of the cherry. And always with a more attacking player anyway, so I wouldn't.
I mean, even that comes with a caveat, because, I mean, yes, that, traditionally, majority of players end up triple captaining in the double game weeks which come towards the end of the season, in the final, the final game weeks, 31 onwards. We don't know for definite yet when they will be. It'll be obviously down to the other cup competitions, things like that. That's when people end up triple captaining. But last year it backfired spectacularly for me.
Did you do Kane? Was it?
Sterling.
Sterling.
I did Sterling as my triple captain, and he only played 1 game. And in that 1 game, he came on as a substitute, I think, because as a triple captain, he got me 3 points.
Good. That's solid returns. I think there was one with Kane last year where there was 2 game weeks for Tottenham, and he
That
just
was
Christmas
Christmas, wasn't
from
it?
injury.
Yes, yeah.
And everybody, I think a lot of people went for him, and I was tempted at the last minute. Went, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I did the same.
And,
I'm not doing it because
he really bombed out. So
it's completely out of form, wasn't he?
It's risky any time, but
I suppose it is. But I think this year might be a bit different. Might be different. Let's hope it is.
yeah.
So, but I'm holding. There's no way I'm triple captaining.
No, I would not be.
Because the other thing as well is a lot of the gains are made, in terms of overall rank, are made towards the end of the season. So that's when people make, other people might have used up all their chips, like a lot of people have in the early weeks. We saw the people shoot to the top were the ones who bench boosted in week 1 and 2. And, have already used a wild card and stuff like that. Keep hold of everything. Your second wild card, your free hit, triple card, triple captain and your bench boost, because those double game weeks and then the blank game weeks, you're going to need all of those, and that's where you'll be at an advantage if you've got hold of all of them.
Definitely.
Let's look at them. City triple up then. Is that a viable option?
So who've City got this weekend? Just remind me.
They've got United, but I'm talking
Yes, they do.
past that after the international break.
Um,
Because even United are not the challenge they were previously, and I don't think like last year they're going to sneak the win. Yeah, I think.
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, despite Sanchez having learned now the long ball game and is doing really well with the knockdowns and everything, because previously he was trying to run down the channels like he did at Arsenal, and the balls were just coming into the middle. So now he's figured it out. It's finally clicked and he's getting the game. But yeah, I don't think he'll be doing it. But that aside, after the international break,
personally, probably not because of money issues. I think the only thing I could do is probably bring Laporte in at the back, and to be honest, my defence does need a bit of a peg up. So I think the only way for me, because again, you started talking about the main ways, if I was to bring in De Bruyne, the only one that would be able to get rid of, unless I went Salah to Mane and freed up 4 million, and then I could boost up Madison or whatever. That would be the only way to do it. Otherwise, it'd be getting rid of Hazard, which I'm not prepared to do.
No, absolutely
not. I think the only way I would be going about that is if I upgraded Alisson to Edison at 0.1 difference, I think there is, or bringing in Laporte.
Right. The Laporte one's actually a good shout, and I'm glad you brought it up because I hadn't mentioned it previously. It's not in the notes, but I was looking at now he's playing because prior to when Mendy was injured and stuff like that, he was out for disciplinary issues or whatever. There was a talk that Pep doesn't play Mendy and Sané together because defensively they're not as responsible. Yeah. He has been doing the past couple of games, but that's been to the detriment of Mendy. Mendy has then had to be a bit more reserved
because he's not bombing on,
because Sané is doing that. So I personally would be tempted now to get rid of Mendy for Laporte, save $1 million or $2 there, Yeah, save a mil or two there. And then I would be I'm seriously considering getting rid of Salah after the international break. Despite our fixtures, Liverpool are just not clicking, they're just not in form. I think I'm going to stick my neck out and say I'm going to really study the Fulham game for what it's worth. But I think I will. I am very inclined to get rid of Salah for Sterling.
Free up a couple of million.
Yeah, and that will help me then possibly to look at Martial and Richarlison.
It would, yeah.
And at the same time, I may even look at getting rid of Mendy now because his returns are not there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to have a look at the last 3 game weeks. I think he's been sort of kept in my team on. Well, there's been other areas that have been more problem areas.
Yeah.
And he's always got an assist in, I would think, but I think he's sort of hanging on in there through the initial burst, the initial few game weeks.
Reputation. He's living off reputation now. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to look at the Manchester derby now as to who he plays, and does he risk playing Mendy and Sane against United? And I don't think he will. I think one of them, most likely, Sane.
I would assume Sane drops before
Mahrez comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Mahrez has been doing pretty well as well.
Yeah, annoyingly.
Yeah.
I thought he was an idiot for going, but...
But them two are obviously the rotation risk slightly more than Sterling. Sterling's going to get rested occasionally, but yeah, that's about it. I think. Any other points?
No, I think we've covered everything there.
Yeah. So hopefully it's been useful. You've learned a few things there. City triple up, definitely worth it. Mendy, look at possibly getting rid of if you haven't. We'll take a look after next week's show before the international break, and just before we finish, I'll put up the little table with all the fixtures and things like that for following the international break. What's going on?
He's good to you.
Leading up to the new year, because we've got game week 15 midweek in the first week of December as well. So there's lots of things to consider there, but we're going to talk in more detail about those next week. That's it for us in the Fantasy Premier League section. Make sure you tune in to part 2, which is the football section, where we're talking about Liverpool and Man City, the fair play scandal. Thank you very much. See you shortly. Bye bye.
Captain Salah. Bye.